Okay. I kept driving the car back and forth and driving the car back and forth. And I was like, I'm going to be a super genius and figure out whether I need him to check for the brakes. Because, okay, this is what happened. This is what traumatized me. This is what happens. I had to replace the rotors. I got lectured when I was young about being gross about the brakes until you have to replace the rotors. And I was lectured by the gods because when you replace your rotors, it's actually not a good thing. According to the gods, it's best to keep your original rotors forever if you can, because manufacturers don't always make them right, and manufacturers don't always make them perfect. So if you don't go back to the dealership or whatever, you get the rotors you get. And unless you can think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen, and have the gods use their powers to customize rotors. According to the gods back in the 80s or 90s. According to the gods back in the 80s or 90s, when you're messing around with changing your original rotors, it's a 50-50 chance you're putting something on your rotors you didn't want. And I don't know. I'm not a rotor expert, but I got lectured about that when I was young because I wore the brakes too much and it needed new rotors. And I got lectured because it was an older black sporty car. And the older black sporty car, they had to just put whatever rotors they got on it. And it's not smart, I guess, or good for brakes. And it's not a smart thing. Unless you know for sure it's the right rotors. And I remember asking the gods, if you need customized parts for everything, then wouldn't you just make sure that where you buy it has everything? I mean, I don't get it. Because I was raised by certain gods when I had to pretend to be their kid. And I am a mother that does my engines, my stuff a certain way. Wouldn't you just make sure the AutoZone has everything or there's easy access to everything? And then I understand how dealerships keep very specific fancy because it's expensive, blah, blah. But I never did get that. But it did traumatize me because they lectured me so much about these stupid rotors. So anyway, I wore the brakes down too bad or something and had to get rotors. Well, I got lucky. And I was told by the gods that Mr. City Auto works with really good, amazing, nice, sweet auto part people. And usually you'll get the right rotors or really good complimentary rotors. And I did find out from that god that when I didn't get the perfect rotors that I should have got, the reason I didn't get my perfect good rotors that I should have got was because my old sporty car just wasn't really compatible to most of the, rotors being sold around that time or whatever. So apparently, I guess I just had a car that was very weird and different in the area I was living in, which could have happened. I bought that. It was a really fun old black sporty car that I bought out of nowhere because my other car had got crashed. And I had gotten an amount of money from insurance, and I just bought a car that was for sale on the side of the road. And it ended up being a dream car I loved so much, but some jerk chosen by the devil ran it into the ground and ruined it. Most of my amazing, beautiful, good cars were ruined by the devil. Devil never wanted me to be happy. But that car could have been from any country, from anywhere. I didn't know. It was just some guy selling it on the side of the road. And apparently the rotors that were sold in the area weren't complimentary to the rotors that car actually needed, which is why they lectured me so much. It traumatized me. And I got lucky. Apparently these rotors are pretty good ones, but I don't want to get lectured that bad by, man, you have never, if you think it's bad when your mom and dad lecture you, wait till 5 billion tons of gods lecture you. It sucks. It sucks till you won't do it again to not be lectured. Now, I got lucky. They didn't lecture me when my rotors had to be replaced, but like, I'm just traumatized about it. So I ran my brakes too bad. The rotors got ruined, and the city auto guy had to replace the rotor and the brakes. So now I'm freaked out. It's like, oh, I can't do that. That's like the cardinal sin. And the poor city auto guy keeps checking my brakes. He's like, they're 50%, or they're still 50%, or they're not where they need to be replaced. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this to poor Mr. City Auto next time. Next time, I'm going to know about how many months until I need the brakes. So every time I'm ever going to Mr. City Auto, I'm going to know how many months per brake. See, I don't know, so I'm freaking out because I don't want them to lecture me. Although they didn't lecture me about the rotors. See, your brain gets messed up about things when things happen. And it takes you time to get over it. So this brakes, I'm going to know. See, right now, I have asked him like 3 different oil changes. Like 3 oil changes he's been checking, and it's still, the brakes are good. So I'd say about 2 years, 3 years. Plus whatever. Or 2 years, 3 years. Because the brakes and rotors had to get replaced. That was quite a while back. So yeah, like 2 years. I'm going to have it fine-tuned where I understand how your brakes wear and about what time. Same thing with the cabin filter. That stupid cabin filter. Mr. City Auto said, boy, you should have changed it. Like, maybe you should change it earlier, because he was like, boy, it need to be changed. That cabin filter, when you go to the dealership, they'll make you change it every 2 seconds. It's horrible. So I was like, I'm not going to do that, because I know the filter's never that dirty, and they just keep changing it. But I have learned it's about a year or two. About a year or two, you're going to need your cabin filter. And then, so now I'm going to learn the brakes. I'm going to know about when I need my brakes so that I don't bother the poor auto people. But, and he said the guy that did the belt did good job. So he confirmed that when I popped the belt, being myself, and that sweet boy showed up where nobody else would to be a mobile mechanic and fix the belt, that he had did a good job, and it's all good. It's good enough. I don't need any additional things, because the boy had said it would be better with this additional thing, but apparently it worked out good enough. That boy worked a miracle. Thanks to that boy. The belt is fine. But as I was explaining all this stuff, and I over-explain things so that you guys make sure you have the right rotors. I over-explain so you guys realize that you might want to get a good feel for when you need your brakes replaced and little things you got to do all the time, like these filters. Because this cabin filter is a pain in the butt and a weird filter I didn't know. So yeah, remember all your little filters and all your stuff right about when you need to replace it. And these are good things to harp on, because gods will lecture, and gods love stability and security. So gods are going to go overboard, that the children of God are always spoiled, and replace things just right, because your brakes go with your safety and your filters go with the longevity of car and your safety. So God's get all into that. So children of God, this is why we harp, so that you'll go to my queen, become an expert at all that stuff and stay ahead of your car and your safety and stuff. But the reason I was going to make the video before I go back to work, Mr. City Auto was like, that rich person never came. You know what? I found out what his relative's trying to do. Mr. City Auto's dead relative is trying to find a way to help wealthy people that are going to fall apart in 2 seconds at the hands of United States and Dubai and more. So the United States and Dubai have figured out how to Y2K on purpose and destroy people's bank accounts and stuff and wipe out and take their money and stuff on purpose, on demand. Plus the fact that they let money become negative and are trying to act like their money still has value, but it's going to fall apart because you can't fake those things. So, and plus, You just don't know the future of the end of the world, what could collapse, what could go up or down. So this dead relative is so precious. He's trying to just make his little relative like a light in the darkness for wealthy people. So he's trying to get wealthy people to come to City Auto. He's trying to get wealthy people to depend on City Auto. He's trying to get wealthy people to become friends with Mr. City Auto, so that when they have a collapse, if they ever have a financial struggle, Mr. City Auto can make them feel like it's not the most devastating nightmare ever known, which is what it would normally feel like to be so rich and lose too much. And that's what they're trying to do. And his dead relative has been talking to him about how it wouldn't matter if you catered to the rich. You can save up the money and give more discounts or something to the poor. So you could still help the poor in the desert on overload because the rich, pay you well or something, or make it into something where you try to be the better, goodness, light of God, or light of beauty, or light of goodness, or whatever he believes in for tomorrow. But yeah, his relative is trying to work with gods and angels and foresee the future and help the reality of the fact that rich people, when they lose everything, it's more devastating than most devastational realities. And the dead relative believes that Mr. City Auto would make anybody feel like it's going to be okay no matter what they go through. Isn't that so cute? And Mr. City Auto had mentioned the rich person didn't show up. And so I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about what a precious, beautiful, amazing relative he has that loves him so much and believes in him so much and believes he can make such a difference at the end of the world or at any time. And that's pretty, pretty cool. That is pretty, pretty dang cool. I had to put on a video. All right, now I'm going to get my butt to work.